Hey, this is Gary with Ruff Road RV Life. I'm Sharon right here, and you can see Tara in the background. Luna's over there. We like looking at freedom, and this is a kind of a follow-up visit to a park that we've already been to. We're at Hillsborough River State Park in Thonotosassa. I probably said that all wrong, but it's close to Zephyr Hills. If you want to look on a map, it's off of 301 in the Tampa area. Now, we were here last year, and this is actually the park that we were at when the ranger knocked on our door and told us to go home because of COVID. So we're back because we visit family in the area every year. So we're just going to do a little follow-up of this park of 1 year later. Has there been any changes? Is everything still the same post-COVID, or while we're still going through COVID? So this is what this video is about.
Right, and what it's like to go to a park, because we very seldom, this is one of the third park that we've been to more than once. So we very seldom do that, but we did it here. So just also another perspective on when you go to a park, coming back, you may see things you didn't see the first time, or get to do things you didn't get to do the first time. Right. So if you're interested in a tour of this park, a more in-depth look at Hillsborough River State Park, then you can check out the video right up here. And that was when we were here last year.
Yep. And this is March 15th, and we were here the same time last year.
The exact same time. So you want to start?
I will start. The one thing that I have noticed that is the same between this year and last year is there are an abundance of caterpillars. You sit outside and you will have caterpillars crawling on your legs, on your shirt, dropping out of the trees on you, on your chairs, everywhere. They're not as bad as last year where they completely blanketed the RV.
Yet. They're just starting now.
But Caterpillar City.
Yes, and if you see the video from last year, I am like all panicky because I did get one fell on my neck while we were hiking and it stung me, and they hurt. Some of them sting and hurt. Now the dogs are going to play. No. When we got here this year, we didn't see a caterpillar, so we thought, hey, maybe this year it's not going to be bad, right? And then one by one, they started popping out of the trees.
Yes. The caterpillars bloomed.
Right, and it's like raining caterpillars. Keep a small brush or a we keep the blower out to just hose things off.
Right.
And blow things off. Do regular throughout the day, many times. So that is just goes with this time of year and this park.
Okay, so another thing that now that I know is there is a loop that goes around. When you come in the ranger station, you make a right, and then there's a loop that goes around past 4 parking lots, and then you get to the campground. So that's a big loop. I never knew how far around that loop was.
It's 1 mile.
So the other day for an afternoon sun walk, she says, why don't we just walk around the campground loop, the road loop, around the 4 parking lots, and it's just a little over 1 mile. I said, okay, let's do that. 2.2 miles.
2.3.
2.3 miles in the sun on pavement.
It's a lovely walk.
I don't mind walking.
It is a lovely walk, and they do have a nice bike lane all the way around the park road. And traffic can only go one way. So it is a very safe walk and safe bike if you choose to bike it.
Right, and there are 4 parking lots.
Yeah.
So, but it is 2.3 miles.
Right, and speaking of mileage, I biked around the park loop road and all of the campground loops, and I ended up with a little over 3 miles. So it's a nice little, if you just want to go out and do a little ride, it's long enough. It's not too long. It's about perfect, and if you wanted more, you could do it twice. Plus, there's, I'm going to talk about in a minute, other bike trail down the way that you could go on to get more mileage in.
Okay, another thing that is the same is they have this giant, which is right behind us, in-ground concrete pool, and it is huge. It's not a little one, it's a big one.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Still closed.
Still closed.
The playgrounds are open. Pool is still closed.
Pool's closed.
And the gift shop.
all rentals, no rentals here.
Right.
So it is very sad because it was hot a couple days and we had company and it was like, oh, the pool would feel so good, but it is what it is right now. So just know if you come here in non-COVID times, you may be able to enjoy this beautiful, I think it's a freshwater pool,
Yeah,
I read. Very nice pool. Very
Because the
big.
Hillsborough River itself, you can't swim in it. There's
No.
alligators in it. There's warnings everywhere. So it's not a swimmable river. It's a paddleable river. Is that a word? Paddleable?
Paddleable.
Paddleable?
Paddleable.
Paddleable.
I don't know.
It's a river you can paddle on, but you can't swim in it. So the pool would be nice, but it's closed.
All right, I wish you could see what I could see right now because we have a caterpillar crawling on our camera.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Okay.
All right, so we got the pool.
So we got the pool, we got the trail, and the caterpillars. Okay, so my take on take 2 of Hillsborough River State Park is I got to do some things I did not have time to do the first time around. So 1, kayak the Hillsborough River. We had, we come here to visit family, so there's not a lot of time to play. And I got to put in, the best place to put in if you're camping here is right from the campground. I think it's between sites 30 and 31. I'm not sure of the exact sites, but you can actually drive your car in there and park. I'll put up the campsites that it's between, but it's very convenient. So we were able to park there, offload the kayak, and they have a launcher. So you can just slide your kayak right down to the bank. And if you wanted to paddle upstream towards the rapids, you could go up a little bit, but then I wouldn't recommend going too far because it does get rocky and rapidy. And there are no signs, so I went up, but then there were people there's a trail there and people were trying to take pictures, and I'm like, I'll just turn around and go back. I also went downstream to the Dead River and explored that area a little bit and went a little bit beyond. So that's a 3-mile trip just to get to the Dead River Takeout. I don't know if you can drive down to the Dead River Takeout. It didn't look like it from when I was there, but maybe other times the road is open.
I passed a road coming into the park that said Dead River Road. I didn't go down it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I biked over there, so that's coming up next. And there was no entrance for cars. Anyway, that aside, I went down there 3 miles down. There is a bathroom there. There are mosquitoes there, very thick. And then I turned around 3 miles and came back. So it was a nice little paddle. Just took a few hours, not bad at all. If you continue though, the next takeout is not for 5 more miles and you have to navigate the 17 runs. So the 17 runs, you could get lost. The kids are getting impatient.
I know, is mommy taking too long?
You could get lost if you are, if you head down there. So just know where you're going. Keep to the left is what I've heard is a good rule of thumb to follow. Take 2 for me was also a bike ride on the trails. The trails that I went on was the Wetlands Trail and the Fort King Trail. And those are nice lime rock roads. There are some grassy areas you'll have to bike over, but really beautiful ride in the woods. And it will take you, if you follow the Fort King Trail, it'll go off to the left, and there was a lot of water. So I didn't continue to go there. Plus, if you stop, mosquitoes will eat you alive. But if you continue straight, instead of going off to the left there on the Fort King Trail, you go on straight, that will take you to the Dead River area where I paddled the day before. And again, beautiful. You're on a lime rock road, palm trees, cabbage, swamp all around you. I saw 2 owls. It was really cool. But if you stop, you will be eaten alive by mosquitoes. So bring bug spray or keep pedaling. And that took me to the bridge that I had paddled under the day before, and also to the recreation area with the bathroom. Not a soul there, not a soul. But anyway, and the trails continued. So I could have continued, but I needed to get back. So I went ahead and pedaled back. And then also I went down the Wetlands Trail, as far as I could go. And that's a shorter trail, but equally as beautiful. I want y'all to look right here. You see this? Caterpillar. Ugh. They're everywhere. Probably crawling on me right now as well. Okay, and then the third thing that was different for me, take two, when we were here last year, we loved the back loop. And we were looking in the 20s, right around there. It's like, it's a quieter loop. There are no campsites on the inside. And we were like, yes, that's where we want to stay.
Looks like it.
I think the trucks you just heard are going to cut the tree down. So I'm going to finish my story. So Site 21 is the site we were supposed to be at. And then we were going to have to move for 5 days. Then we're going to have to move for 1 day to another site, just because I couldn't find availability. Well, when we got here, we were redirected to another site because there's a dead tree on Site 21. So the site we picked out last year, we couldn't stay at. So we were redirected to Site 5. Site 5 is like right in the middle, where you've got people behind you, people beside you, people in front of you. And it's just looks like a busy section. It's kind of right in the heart. And I was like, great. But however, they were able to get, I asked, and they were able to get us in there for 6 days, so we didn't have to move. And the reason why I'm reporting this is it was not bad at all. I thought it would be a very busy, noisy site. Our dogs get distracted. It's fine. It was fine. I felt that we had all the privacy that we needed. Yes, it is a howdy neighbor site. There's no brush between you and your neighbor, but the sites are huge. So each site, you have plenty of space, right? Didn't you find it that way?
Yeah, it's close to the bathroom.
Yeah, and we enjoyed sitting out there and visiting with family, and we were far enough away from the road. The dogs did not freak out, and so it was. So that was a little aha for me, because if you've listened to me, I typically stay away from inside loops, try to get far away because of the dogs. And not that I don't love that, but 5 was not a bad site. So the more and more that we travel, I'm starting to see that just about any site, if you're camping, is a good site. Because we do stay at parks that have larger sites, like Army Corps parks, state parks. You know, we do pay attention if the sites are close and narrow. So those are my 3. I got to pedal, paddle, and pleasantly surprised that if you're in those lower numbers, yeah, it's no big deal. Still a good campsite, still a good campground, although it did start raining caterpillars about, 4 days in? So I understand that's a seasonal thing, and I don't think next year we're going to check it out in January, so we'll let you know. He says I ramble.
I just sit here patiently and wait for the end.
I am sharing.
I am used to this ramble.
Everything I can, so you will know when you come here, you will be more knowledgeable. That's all.
She was in education. She's used to rambling. Anyway. So I got a couple more little things to say very briefly. Anyway, like I said, the restroom is right. One of the bathhouses is right close to where we were. I did go over there to take a shower. It was great. The water pressure's good. It was hot water came out, and I actually used the washer and the dryer there. It's $2.50 for the washer and $2.25 for the dryer. They did well. They have 2 of each at that bathhouse, but there is another bathhouse too. So the bathhouse was great. The laundry facilities was good if you need to use them. And we also saw that starting at 4 o'clock every afternoon, one of the camp hosts loads up a cart with firewood and ice and goes around the park selling firewood and ice, because that's the only way you can buy it, because they don't have a place that you could actually go and buy it. But starting at 4 o'clock, he makes his rounds and rounds and rounds and will deliver you firewood and ice to your campsite. I believe it was $7.50 for a quart of wood, and I don't know how much the ice was. I never really saw that.
He was like
part.
The ice cream man. He'd be like, ice, firewood, ice, firewood.
So if you're coming here to camp and you're concerned about firewood or ice, if you're one of those that needs ice, which we've been there before, and we know how it is to make ice trips daily, it's nice to have the ice delivered to you.
Yeah.
So,
but the trails, we didn't talk a lot about the trails, but the trails along the river are beautiful. Beautiful, worth it. Check it out. Take your bug spray or cover your body with clothes so that you don't get mosquito attacked. Yeah. But it's worth it.
Yeah, and if there's a couple little spots, if you got kids or something, you want to bring a little fishing pole and some worms and catch some bluegills with the kids, you can do that if you like doing that kind of thing. I mean, you can fish right there by the canoe launch.
Right from the campground.
Yeah.
Right
so
from the campground.
If you like
so.
kids to catch a few bluegills, just bring a little fishing pole and some worms or something, hot dog, whatever you use. That's it.
Right. It's a very nice campground. You are a little bit away if you want groceries or anything like that.
15 minutes to Zephyr Hills. They got anything you want. Straight up 301. You never even have to get off the road.
I guess that's really not bad.
No,
15.
they got a Dollar General.
Yeah.
A Walmart is 28 minutes away.
That's what I was thinking. And Walmart's a little further.
But Zephyr Hills is loaded with stores.
Check when you're reserving. 30 amp, 50 amp service. Some sites are 30 amp. Some sites have 50 amp. They do have water and they have a dump station. So just to know a little bit about the amenities that are offered at the campsite.
Right. So we're going to wrap up this re-review of Hillsborough River State Park 1 year later. So I guess that's it. I'm Gary. This is Sharon. Our dogs have passed out behind us.
Yeah, now they're over here.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, Mom and Dad aren't going anywhere.
They're waiting to finish this walk. So,
Uh-oh.
oh, there goes one. Must be a squirrel alert. Anyway, Rough Road RV Life. We like looking at freedom. We hope to see you on the road. Safe travels. Take care.
Bye. pretty. Okay, I have to say that guy's not that far from that trail system. Just be on the look for alligators. Look out for alligators. The big one.